Alright, so what we're looking at here is the charging system for the motorhome, and as you can see, it's pretty much a complete clustercluck of wires. I was hoping maybe someone could point me in the right direction as to how to do this, because right here we've got a charging solenoid, which it's a 6-post instead of a 4-post, which is kind of interesting to me. I've never seen one of those, and I can't seem to find a correct wiring schematic on it, so I can't figure out why everything's looped around like this. This big boy here that runs to the starter control module on the 440, which runs into this top post, which loops around into this post as well. On this post you've got battery A, and then it loops around into this switch, which there's actually a switch in the door, in the steps going up into the living quarters of the motorhome, and that lets you turn 12-volt appliances on and off, which still doesn't make any sense on how that works, because you've got these two here, which are the 12-volt appliances. You've got this one on this side of the switch, this one on the other side. So it kind of doesn't make any sense to me, which is this one. Let's see if I can get a good shot. This guy and this guy. This guy over here is the second battery. I know, it's like, what? This guy here, which you can see runs out right there, and it runs into this little like terminal thing. I'm not really sure what those are for even. Is actually the alternator. So maybe that's battery A. I don't really know. I can't figure it out. But the only thing that I can figure out so far is that the control system on the solenoid, it only seems to engage when you press the switch up in the cab, which there's a switch for switching back and forth between battery A and battery B, and that seems to be how it works. I don't know, it's really strange. And then there's no fuses on anything, which really irks me. That's going to change if I can figure this out. Everything seems to terminate with those little guys down over here, and I can't figure out why. Maybe it's so that if you burn up a wire, you can just replace the wire and not have to go the full length. I'm not sure. In the engine bay, where the wire from the alternator comes out, it terminates into one of those, and then this wire here comes off of one, and then comes into this one and into there. My thought is why couldn't I just replace it with a 4-post charging solenoid, you know, one of the newer smart solenoids, and just completely pull this entire system out, connect the 12-volt house stuff to one side of the switch, connect the house battery to the other side of the switch, and connect the starter and alternator to the engine, the engine battery, and then unify the two batteries with a 4-post solenoid. Wouldn't that make more sense? I don't know, maybe someone else will be able to help me figure out how this is wired together, because as you can see, we've got, like, on the solenoid on this post, it loops up into this switch, and on this side you've got the alternator, one of the batteries, and that's a 12-volt. You've got the two 12-volt lines here, and they both run up into the cab out near the fridge, which is strange, underneath. And the only two that run directly to the engine bay are the starter line, the one that goes to the starter control, and in the starter control module, it terminates into 4 different lines. And then, of course, the alternator. So, I'm not sure. This is a Travco 320 motorhome, 1978, with the Dodge 440 engine. So, I'm not entirely sure. I'd like to simplify it protect it a little bit better, put fuses in across everything. But I don't entirely know where to go, so that's where I'm at.